All right, guys. So you remember how the woke revolutionaries and Democrats like Beto O'Rourke, I meant Robert Francis O'Rourke. I'm not calling him Beto. I'm calling him by his real name, Robert Francis. You remember how they got so upset about the Texas governor basically trying to treat parents who allow their kids to go through what the left likes to call gender affirming healthcare as child abusers, right? Basically trying to go out the parents who allow their kids to go through these potentially permanent and life-changing surgeries. California is basically doing the exact opposite of that, right? As they are trying to become a sanctuary state for so-called gender affirming healthcare, okay? Which means that they're going to treat parents who do not allow their kids to go through these gender affirming surgeries and treatments as domestic abusers, right? So I want you guys to understand how Looney Tunes this is. California is saying if you are a parent who does not allow their child to physically or chemically castrate themselves, including but not limited to chopping off their penis, taking hormones, puberty blockers, cutting off their breasts, doing all types of crazy stuff to their kids, you are a child abuser, okay? And when it comes to cases of child custody, right? Let's just say, for example, a child, goes to California for visitation with a parent and refuses to leave. And the other parent is like, no, I want the child to come back. Usually in situations like that, where, it's a little muddy in regards to, who has the right to see the kid or whatever, California says, look, we're not going to get involved in this. However, if that child says that, hey, I want to be the opposite sex and I am trying to seek gender affirming healthcare, California and their courts will then step in, right, and have jurisdiction over which parent gets custody of the child. They're basically not going to enforce other states' custody laws and orders, right? Again, that is what is happening here. And it's as Looney Tunes and crazy as it sounds, because even liberals and Democrats are not on board with this lunacy. As we got to talk about a mother who's a Democrat, who's a liberal mother who supports gay marriage, that spoke out at a judiciary hearing about this bill, this proposal, which has been dubbed SB 107, that would, again, effectively make California a gender affirming healthcare sanctuary state, aka a children can chop off their penises sanctuary state. And she absolutely destroys this bill with facts and logic. And I want you guys to take a listen.
Hi, my name's Erin Friday. I'm a Democrat and I voted for same-sex marriage. I'm one of the leads of Our Duty and parents of ROGD kids. There are thousands of parents in our group. We are cheering on the states that are stopping gender medicine on children. Parents in the state of California have lost custody of their children merely by calling their child by their legal name. SB 107 must not pass. Custody is one of the hardest fought aspects of a divorce, and California cannot just wipe away an out-of-state agreement addressing which parent controls the medical health of a child. Scott Wiener, a man without children, is pushing gender-affirmative medicine laws for minors, while other countries are moving away from the affirmation model. Look to Sweden, Finland, Norway, the UK, and France. You need to be 100% confident that sterilizing children is truly life-saving. The number of kids going to gender clinics is skyrocketing. In the UK, it is a 5,000% uptick for girls, as seen in the graph. It's the same here. We parents know it's a social contagion as we watch clusters of friend groups come out as trans. It's not organic. If trans medicine prevents suicide, why then, as trans medicine gets more prevalent, are more girls committing suicide? Why are they suffering from severe depression, engaging in self-harm? This gene twinge graph of suicide and self-harm matches the trans medicine trajectory. Laura Edwards Leeper, who brought pediatric gender care to the United States, says, and I quote, "There are no studies that say that if we don't start these kids immediately on hormones, when they say that they want them, that they are going to commit suicide." The long-term effects of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones is largely unknown. What is known is that bone density and brain development is adversely affected.
Ma'am, respectfully, if you could please wrap up. Your time's been exceeded.
Marcy Bowers, a trans woman and current president of WPATH, on the effect of puberty blockers on biological males says, and I quote, "Every single child who is blocked at standard stage 2 has never experienced an orgasm. I mean, it's 0. These young men are also rendered irreversibly sterile. Don't make California a refuge for what will be seen as the largest medical scandal in history. Educate yourself." Thank you.
Facts. Nothing but facts and logic there. I mean, look, I don't even really need to go into each claim that she made, each statement that she made, because they were all true. I've already went into this stuff on this channel 1,000 times. And the whole point of this video is to highlight that even liberals, even Democrats are fed up with the insanity that's coming from the left. This stuff has become extreme, right? It is extreme. Okay, California is trying to become a sanctuary state for kids to come and chop off their genitals. Again, and this bill is being promoted and pushed by a dude with the last name Wiener, right? Wiener, who is for little boys cutting off their wieners, right? Again, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up, right? But again, this is a positive sign. It is a very positive sign that the Democrat Party is, again, out of the mainstream, right? It is confirmation that out of the mainstream, they've fully endorsed. They've given a full-throated endorsement, right, to the progressive extreme left. The Democrat Party is a party of the extreme left, okay? I'm just being so serious about it, at least when it comes to social stuff. They're clearly extremely progressive on that, right? And again, their base is not there. Right. And again, that's why they're going to get blown out in the midterms. But again, like I said, a liberal mom who's pro-gay marriage, obviously she's not a bigot, right? She's not a homophobe. She's not a transphobe. She's not any of that stuff. She's simply a sane person that's like, yo, I'm for social progress, but I'm not for this extreme woke social progress, okay? She's speaking out against this, okay? There's also a group that I just discovered that is another great sign that, again, this stuff is going too far. And the group is called Gays Against Groomers. And I actually want to show you guys this video that is also another breath of fresh air when it comes to sanity in this country that does exist in the liberal, not leftist, but liberal wing of the Democrat Party. Take a look.
The people who are pushing for sexual orientation and gender identity to be put into children's education always seem to say that this is for the benefit of LGBTQ kids. I would argue this is much more for the benefit of LGBTQ adults who demand validation from everybody around them, which now includes children. Because we don't even really know what an LGBTQ kid is, or whether that even exists. Like, can a child even define that part of their identity yet? As a gay man, I had no idea I was gay as a child. There were so many other parts of my identity that I was focused on during my childhood than my sexual orientation, because sexuality as a whole is hardly even relevant to you during that stage in life. So given how little we know about how these discussions affect children, whether they're gay or straight, it seems to me that this is a lot more about adults' feelings than children's.
Yeah, so this patriot who happens to be gay said something that I found to be very profound. Okay, he says, when I was a child, there were other aspects of my identity that I was focused on outside of my sexuality, right? He was focused on things like, being a Power Ranger, right? Or, the things that kids and children focus on, right? When it comes to what they want to identify as, which is all types of crazy stuff, okay? Which is why I think it's ridiculous when people see little boys that may say, hey, I want to be a princess, or that wear dresses, to automatically say, oh, no, they must be transgender. They must actually really want to be a girl, and we must start affirming their gender, okay, and putting them on puberty blockers and hormones and all types of stuff. We must start doing that immediately, okay, just because they display some traits that may be contrary to what we traditionally would define as, traits for their sex, okay? But again, this video right here kind of confirms what I've been hearing, right? That there is a war, there's an alphabet civil war, okay, in which the LBGs, okay, are at war with the T's and the Q's and the I's and the pluses, okay? I think that is what's going on here, okay? And again, you're seeing some people who probably do identify with, the left and liberal values and the Democrat Party pushing back against the extremism. They're coming out and saying, no, you're making us look bad. We don't agree with this. You've gone too far, okay? You're simply out here trying to seek validation from children because you literally want validation and attention from everybody. Okay. And again, if you disagree with what this gay man is saying, you're a homophobe, right? You are a homophobe if you disagree with what this guy is saying. So again, hey, I think this is a good sign that the tides are turning in the culture war, at the very least when it comes to this whole, pushing, sexual and gender ideology on kids thing. I think most sane people in this country are waking up and saying, no, this is too far. The Democrat Party is going too far. And that's part of the reason why I think you're saying the pushback against the Democrat Party that will show up in the midterms when the red tsunami comes. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.